Everyone, my name is Kayla Adams and I am the founder of Uphill Career Services. So, what I do at Uphill is I provide professional writing services and counsel for resumes, cover letters, also career counsel, um, interview prep, and things of that nature. It's a passion of mine. I love doing it. I love helping people to really find the realness of who they are and what they provide to the employers and to the job market as a whole. So I'll give you a little bit of backstory. I started Uphill actually October of 2019, officially. Although I've been writing for people, friends, family, friends of friends since college. When I was a sophomore in college, I got an internship at UNCG, go Spartans, at the UNCG Career Services Center. And I was a peer career ambassador is what it's called. So students would come into the Career Services Center needing some help with their resume, help with their cover letter. They would need mock interview practice and things of that nature. And I really got acquainted with the industry of, all right, this is what a resume should look like. This is what it shouldn't look like. I got really acquainted with that through UNCG's Career Services Center. And just from there, began to be known by peers as, hey, that girl Kayla, she can help you with your resume. You need help? That girl Kayla, she can proofread your paper. So people will come to me often, reach out on social media, and ask me for help. I've been doing it for a couple of years now, but I really decided to brand it and go for it as a business venture because I'm passionate about helping people, particularly Black people. The Black community, I feel that we are super talented people. Just naturally, we're brilliant, we're bright, but we may not always have the answers and the know-how with how to package those skills and present them in a way that other people can understand them and digest them. So I made it my mission with Uphill. I want to help everyone, but I have a distinct focus on minorities and Black people. So, ever since October 2019, we've been up and running. So let's start out just with some general resume realness, is what I like to call it. What should my resume look like? What should it not look like? There are a variety of factors that will determine that answer. What industry are you in? How long have you been in the workforce? Are you fairly new? Are you a fresh college graduate? Or do you have 15 years of professional experience? Are you working in IT or are you working as a teacher in education? So all of those factors determine it. There is no clear-cut defined yes or no. It's important to be abreast to your industry that you're applying within and to know what's okay and what's a little bit taboo for that industry. That in mind, though, there are some general things to keep in mind. A common thing I see on people's resume are objectives. Objectives are unnecessary. I know you're looking at me like, hold on, Kayla. I Googled resumes, and a lot of them had objectives. Yeah, they did. That was one of the first things I learned as a peer career ambassador. Objectives, even sometimes skill sections, they can take up space, and they're space fillers. The average employer is going to skim your resume for 30 seconds or less, and it's usually less. You have to get to the meat and bones. So you don't have to explicitly say, I'm a tenured professional with 15 years of customer service experience seeking a full-time opportunity, You don't have to put that on your resume. Your skills and your experience should speak to who you are and what you're looking for. You don't have to put on your resume that you're proficient in Word and Excel. Your skills on your resume should include those things. If you use a special software service in your job, a database, put that. You know what I'm saying? Write that as a part of your job duties. So that's one thing that I've noticed. Also, references available upon request, super unnecessary. Again, these are things that just take up space. You could use that space to really drive home what you do in your current position and previous positions and how you've added to productivity and how you've increased sales and a ton of other things. Okay? So let's move on. I see a lot of job responsibilities just kind of listed. So let's say you work at a grocery store and you're a cashier. You don't want to just put checked out customers, help them take their groceries to the car, bagged groceries. Yeah, we know that you did those things. But a great resume quantifies what you've done. It uses actionable words. What did you really do, right? So if you were a cashier, how many people on average would you say that you checked out within an hour? That would speak to your skill, your pace, your efficiency. You know, how did you provide exceptional customer service to those people, right? So we're going beyond the generic tasks and we're digging deeper. If you work in sales or any industry where numbers are really important, put those numbers on there. How much revenue on average did you increase your company? You know, how much revenue did you help them to earn on average every month? If you work in customer service, you know, what was your satisfaction rating in that role? And things of that nature. I know that it's taboo to brag on yourself, but your resume is your brag document. Your cover letter is your brag document. Okay? That's when you really pull out all the stops. If you got an award in your internship for being outstanding or exceptional, put that on your resume. If you are a part of any great organizations, you have great volunteer work that is relevant to the industry that you're in, or maybe you don't have a ton of experience, those type of things are great to put on your resume. I know as a new graduate, I see a lot of new graduates with not much work experience on their resume, and they're like, well, Kayla, what do I put? I mean, I worked at Lowe's Foods when I was in college, you know? I worked at McDonald's when I was in high school, but now I'm going into IT. Put that work experience up there, but quantify what you did, okay? Say how you went above and beyond and use that volunteer experience as well. Use all of the internship experience you had, you know, because those things speak to your character, your work ethic, your values. So it's important to incorporate all of those things such as professional work experience, volunteer experience, professional organizations, but you don't want to cloud your resume with too much noise, if that makes sense. Another tip I'll give is resumes should be 1 full page or 2 full pages. Not 1 1/4, not 3/4 of a page. 1 full page or 2 full pages. It's an aesthetic thing, but it's also a convenience thing. When you're at a job fair, when you're in a networking event and you hand someone your resume, you don't want them to have to flip through multiple documents. You want them to have a sheet of paper in front of them, right? And be able to turn it front and back and see everything that they need to see. And a lot of people feel that they have to put their entire life on their resume, okay? You don't have to put your entire life. If you work currently in data entry and you have 10 years experience in customer service and data entry combined, there's no need for you to go and put that job you had 15 years ago where you worked at an after-school organization. General rule of thumb is you want to keep it within the last 10 years of work experience. And if you don't have a ton of work experience within the last 10 years, you can go to 15. But I've seen resumes with work from 1993 on it, and that's great. You know, that's awesome if you were at that company since 1993. But if you've had several positions since then, and that job is not relevant to the industry that you're in right now, it's absolutely unnecessary to cloud your resume with that information. So again, less is more, right? Have you ever heard the saying that the loudest one in the room is usually the weakest one in the room? You want to be strong and you want to be powerful with the information you provide, but you want to provide just enough. You don't want to overdo it and put all of these unnecessary experiences and jobs that are totally unrelated on your resume. You don't want to do that. The employer is only going to browse at your resume for about 30 seconds or less. So just remember that. Save your strongest things and your most relevant things for the resume. You can have a CV, which is a separate document that lists every single piece of experience that you've ever had. Have that CV and put that on your CV in case you may need to reference it later, being that you may change industries or change your career path. It's a good idea to keep a CV. But for your resume, keep it simple. And it's really important that people understand that your resume, you should have several resumes, a couple at least, right? You shouldn't be applying with the same resume for every job. And that sounds like a lot. It sounds like, well, Kayla, so you want me to make 3 resumes? No. Start with your foundation, okay? Tailor it to whatever type of job or industry that you're applying to in this moment, and save that one as one draft. Okay, so this is my customer service resume. Saved. All right, now let's say you're applying for sales jobs. There might be some work experience or volunteer experience that's more relevant to sales industry. Add that in there and take away anything that's not as relevant. Save that one. Now that is your sales resume. And so on and so forth. And this takes time. This is not an overnight thing. But as you gain more experience, more professional experience, you should be having different variations of your resume to pass out and to tailor. Okay, so that's going to be my final remarks on the resume portion. I do want to share a couple of minutes of remarks on cover letters as well, because cover letters are just as important. Okay, piggybacking off of what I said about resumes and how less can be more, and you have to be powerful and speak to your strengths, but you don't have to clutter it up with all of these unnecessary sections. The reason for that is because your cover letter expands on your resume. Your cover letter gets specific. Your cover letter is when you can storytell and when you can talk about how great you are with Excel and how you created a new function at work that everyone uses and that saved everyone's life, and it all started from this point, from X point. That's what your cover letter is for. Your cover letter is to speak to the passion that you have for the industry. It's to speak to your ethics and who you are as a person. I feel that that is often overlooked in professional cover letters. Let's be real. When jobs are seeking to hire people, they're not just looking to see who can do the job the best, but who can fit in with the company culture, whose values align with the company's mission statement and the company's values as a whole. All of those things are important. So your cover letter is really that document that follows up a strong resume. That's your follow-up. And your cover letter has to be strong too. I know a lot of people are like, look, writing is not my thing. I get it. Everyone can't be good at everything. And that's why we have Uphill Career Services, professional writing services, to help you articulate what it is that you bring to the table and to really pull those things out of you. I know that it can be difficult to think, well, I mean, what can I really say that will grab their attention? How do I say it? What tone do I use? That's what Uphill is for. So I love to, with every client I have telephone consultations where we just chat. And we talk about, what your skills are, what you're looking for in your next role, what you have in your current role, and then we go from there. So every experience is tailored to you. Every experience is personal to you. But if I could leave you guys with one thing from this video, this is my advice to you. Invest in yourself. If you know realistically that professional writing is not your forte, go ahead and invest in yourself. That little bit of money that you spend now getting these documents created for you will take you on to earn so much more money. It will help you support your family. It will further your career. And it will just honestly take the headache off of you. You don't have to have gray hairs from trying to think of, oh my gosh, does this sound right? Chances are, if you're asking yourself, does it sound right? It probably doesn't. So that is the gist of what I have to tell you guys today. I would love to connect with each and every one of you. Uphill Career Services, we are active on Facebook. We're active on Instagram and Twitter. You guys can email me at uphillcareerservices@gmail.com. It's UPHILCareerservices.com. I'm a very I have to write things down. Um, and that's just me. I'm very hands-on. But you can find me on Facebook at uphillcareerservices.com. Twitter, Instagram, the same handle, and uphillcareerservices@gmail.com. I would love to connect with each and every one of you, answer any questions you may have. Maybe you're not ready to commit to a resume makeover right now, but you may just have a few general questions. I'm here for you guys. I know it's a tough time right now with COVID-19. The job market is insane. Be encouraged and know that as crazy as things are right now, the market is going to explode soon, and there will be so many opportunities. You want to make sure that you have your documents together. You want to make sure that you have the best presentation of you as a professional and what you have to bring to the table, so that when that time comes, you're prepared and you're able to really articulate what it is that you provide. So thank you guys for getting to know me and learning a little bit about cover letters and resumes and things of that nature. I know it's not the most interesting thing in the world. If you have any questions, please reach out. Thank you.